everybody. Welcome to one of the very last Rolex Sydney Hobart Yacht Race press conferences. I'm Di Pearson, the media director. I'd like to introduce you to Syd Fischer on my left, the owner-skipper of Ragamuffin 100. Next to him, Anthony Bell, the owner-skipper of Perpetual LOYAL. Next to him, Mark Richards, Richards Wild Oats XI, defending and record holder CYCA. Next to him, Ken Reed, the skipper of Comanche from America. And on the very end, we have Moshayedi from Rio 100, also from the USA. They've all been to a skipper's briefing this morning and been given the latest on the weather. So we also have in the room today Andrew Trevor from the Bureau of Meteorology. He's in the front row if you want to ask questions, and John Cameron, the Commodore of the Cruising Yacht Club of Australia. So let's start with you, Syd. We know you've been busy, as you always do, last minute, have everybody holding their breaths. You don't have this boat ready all the time, everyone worries except you. Can you give us an update on your boat and what you think about the latest in the weather that you heard this morning? What's it been for you?
I think the weather's very good. It just depends how it comes in at the time. But quite a way to go. I think we've covered the bases and the boat's ready for all kinds of weather.
Okay, so going out of the harbour, who's going to be at the helm of your boat that day? Whitty, or are you going to have a go? Or?
No, it's Whitty.
Whitty.
I'm old and stupid. I don't steer anymore. I haven't got you going, so.
All gone. So for those that don't know, Syd is the oldest person in the race, the oldest owner skipper at 87. I'm sure it doesn't mind me mentioning that, most people know. So Anthony, weather, I would think that would be looking good for Perpetual LOYAL, yes or no?
Yeah, I mean, I think the race is going to have a bit of everything. It's going to give opportunities to favour any particular boat, and you know, as with the first 12 to 15 hours, is something that we're probably looking forward to.
Sorry, they can't. Can everybody hear? They're showing that they're on. I'm just trying to see.
They're on.
Okay, they're on. We're ready again. Try again.
Let's say the same thing again.
Yeah.
The weather conditions are certainly a lot of variation, as Syd said. We're looking forward to the first stands of the race, and then I don't think there's any particular conditions that suit any particular boat, so that should bring all the big boats close together in terms of contention.
Okay, so Rico, can you see a situation, given the current forecast, that there might be more than one boat in the Derwent River come the end of the line honours battle?
Yeah, no, look, we always anticipate that situation. And you know, we had 2011. You know, we had an amazing battle with Anthony here in Perpetual LOYAL at the Derwent, and we got the better of us that year. So there's a lot of competition this year. The boats are all going really well. I think any one of the boats, you know, on this table today are going to be in there with a good chance.
And unknown factors in 3 boats here, because what do you guys say to yourself when you really don't know the form of Ragamuffin, of Comanche and of Rio 100?
Look, I think going into a southerly, you know, on the first night, you know, for the best prepared boats is always a bit of a challenge, especially the big boats. It's a lot harder for us, you know, we've got to slow the boats down. We're going pretty well twice the speed of a lot of the boats in the fleet in those conditions. So it's a real challenge to keep the big boats in one piece, and obviously, you know, being 10 years old for us is a little bit of an advantage because we know the boat very well. But you know, the guys, there's some of the best sailors in the world here on all these boats, and I'm sure the guys will conduct themselves really well.
Okay, and Kenny, first big race, don't know how Comanche's going to hold together. It will be its first offshore race. So how he's feeling given the weather report, the latest?
Well, the weather report is what you expect when you come here to the Hobart race. It's, I guess it's no surprise, and you know, we'll all work our hardest to keep our Christmas dinners down, I would imagine, on that first night. But no, this is what we expect. We wouldn't expect anything else. I think it would almost be a bit of a shock if we didn't get a southerly front in this race. So So we try to keep it in one piece. We try to anticipate the best we possibly can, but like you said, this is a completely untested boat at this stage, and I'm as curious as anybody as to how she's going to react.
Okay, Manouch, again, you've at least had a bit of time in New Zealand with your boat. Weather report, I guess you'd be rubbing your hands a bit, knowing that going straight into the breeze and the canning keel's not going to be so effective against you, yeah?
Yeah, I think actually the weather report is not so bad for our boat. The canting keels and oil ballast and all the other gadgets that the big boats have makes things actually more complicated, not less complicated. And, we have the simplest boats in this fleet, so hopefully it can keep together better than others, but everybody has to slow down for the first 10 to 12 hours in order not to break the boat. After that is anybody's guess. I guess if you don't fall in the hole, you can get ahead, but there's holes everywhere. And our boat is the lightest of the five, and it's built for light wind because we're going to sail in California. So we might actually have some chance. We're going to let these guys go forward and then have them stop and catch up, hopefully, and repeat again.
Okay, so just back to you, Rico. Given this early southerly, do you still push as hard as you can, or do you sort of be a little bit cautious to a degree early in the race?
Well, it depends who's around us at the time, Guy. It's all about the competition and pacing yourself, but just knowing your limitations of the boat's really important, and it's one thing we've done well in the past is knowing when to actually back off and look after the boat. And it's going to be pretty messy out there, and I think, as Kenny says, it's going to be a challenge on how about the sea who hangs on to their Christmas lunch the longest, but it's, it just all depends on the situation.
Okay, and Anthony, what was the latest from the Bureau this morning that you heard in the skipper's briefing? Has there been any change since the last weather report given earlier in the week?
No, not tons of changes. To us, it probably narrowed down yesterday, and we got the first report 3 or 4 days ago. Everyone gets excited; they write emails to each other. Actually, the first report we got, everyone got a bit depressed and wrote emails to each other, and it's started to improve for us. So, the whole southerly south of the front is all, I think everyone's consistently said, it will be a great testing period. Nursing the boat will still be a priority for us, and I think we're hoping to get into some breaching conditions at some stage in the second transition race.
Okay, thank you. So I'm going to open the floor to any questions. You can ask any of the guys here, or if you've got something for Andrew Chabot from the Bureau.
Rico, you were supposed to be going sailing today. I understand you're not. Is it true that you're breaking the boom?
Yeah, look, we had a failure with our boom on Saturday, which is a bit of a shame, and it's a problem that's obviously been there for quite a while. One of those things you don't actually see until it actually breaks properly. So we're really fortunate that on Saturday not a lot of wind actually broke the boom. So the boys have been working around the clock to repair that. It's still not fixed right now, so we'll be sailing tomorrow for Christmas lunch. And it's just the way it is in sport. Sort of pushing the envelope a little bit there in technology and weight, and pay the price. But fortunately, before Boxing Day.
Mark, this year, alignments for you guys that give you the record. What would that mean?
Look, we've got 628 difficult miles between now and then, and a lot of competition, mate. So don't even think about it until we actually get there.
Who do you all regard as favourites?
Sorry?
Who do you all regard as the favourites to win?
The men sitting either side of me, all the way down the table.
I'm going for Syd.
Mark, you've been at Woolly Stock, obviously with Comanche alongside. Has that fuelled a bit of rivalry between the crews?
Yeah, look, it's been good. We all know each other very, very well. It's everyone's worked really well together, and it's been a lot of fun. And it's an honour for us to have those guys here and to come and share our facility with us. And we've really, it's been a good experience for everyone. I think all the kids around town, Kenny just picks them up on the way down to Harvey. You can't do that on Boxing Day, Ken. It's been a great thrill for everyone, I think, and just really happy they made it along.
And Ken, how are you finding your first experience to lead up to a Sydney to Hobart race?
Well, I just hope that all you people understand how good you have it here. This place is stunning. I did a J24 Worlds here, I think about 100 years ago, and And so a lot of it had worn off. But then you go sailing in and out of this harbor, and it's honestly, it's as good as it gets. So I hope all of Sydney, all Australians understand how nice it is to sail around this place. It's spectacular.
Do you think you'll be thinking that once you get out of Sydney yet, sir?
Well, I mean, with that said, we're ready to go, man. I mean, there's only so many days of preparation you can do. We've had we have a great team here, and like Rico said, we've had a wonderful experience down at their yard. These guys, their whole team has gone out of their way to help. Honestly, we couldn't have gotten this all done without the help of a lot of locals, because we had a pretty large uphill climb ahead of us. So, yeah, we're ready. We're as ready as we'll ever be. It's time to go see what this thing can do.
Can you give us a bit of insight to how different your two boats are? I mean, when you see them next to each other, they look completely different.
We say black, white. You can just about fit two of their hulls inside of one of ours, to give you an idea of the design concepts. And you know, the design concepts were built for two pretty different reasons. And of course, there's the age of when the designs were made. But this boat is really meant to kind of reach across the ocean, to break a transatlantic record, to take advantage of breezier, crack sheets conditions. Now, did we try to make sure that it can still go upwind and downwind? Of course. You know, we always had kind of our mind's eye to this race, but you know, it wasn't specifically built for this race. With that said, we really like our boat so far, and we can't wait to see how it does. You're always fast when you're sailing by yourself, let's put it that way. So we can't wait to actually sail against these four other great programs.
Manouch is an international entrant. Have you been surprised by the level of interest and excitement around this great race?
It's amazing. We don't have this type of things in the United States. In fact, sailing is not a sport that's even mentioned in a newspaper or anywhere. So it's been amazing the amount of press around this whole Sydney Hobart and interest on all of the boats around. You know, it basically makes you know why you're selling. It's just people appreciate it, and it's a great scenery in Sydney Harbour, and we really enjoy it.
Does it make you a bit more nervous or more excited having that pressure on top of you?
Well, I think everybody's going to be nervous right at the start with so many boats going at the same time, and helicopters and spectators and things. I think that's going to be one of the hairiest part of the race. After that, the sea is the sea. Let's see what happens.
Being a southwest of the start of the race, give us a bit of a breakdown of where you think you'll be running your spinnaches from. Where's the best point of the park? Out to the heads.
It's still a bit early to really start thinking that sort of stuff. Yeah, we've just got 2 days to go, and all sorts of things can change. So it's the weather. Let's see what happens on Boxing Day.
Anthony, have you got an idea of where the race might be won or lost based on the forecast as it stands?
Yeah, our tactician Coco has told us that he thinks the rich will get richer in this race. When we look at the balance sheets of the other competitors, that makes me worry a little bit, but I think that on that token, he's sort of saying that there's a few parts. The fun to us is something that we want to do really well at the start, and you know, I guess for us to do well in this race, we'll probably have to chance our arm a little bit there. Saying that, transition is going to be really important, and particularly coming down to Tasman Island, it's so hard to pick 2 or 3 days beforehand what it's going to be. I know, you know, some of the best navigators in the world are in this race, and I think, you know, it'd be fair to say that in some ways their skill and talent will come to the front, particularly at that back end of the race, and you know, sort of so become part of the navigators race as well as just a straight out boat speed race.
The $64,000 question is going to be what happens in Bass Strait, how soft it is, when the breeze comes in, and actually if there is breeze there when you want it. Is that how you're reading?
Yeah, we're terrified of that from last year. Obviously, we parked for basically today, and still got nightmares about, you know, our boat in that 0 to 4 knot sort of wind speed. So yeah, we're hoping that the transitions will be a bit closer together. We're hoping that you know, it won't be in that 0 to 4, at least maybe 4 to 8 is what we're really hoping for to maximise what we can do with the race.
Syd, how hard do you push Ragamuffin in the first southerly?
Oh, as hard as we can. without breaking it. But, it's a fairly light boat, but it's had its little problems. We fixed them properly. I think it'll hold together. I think it's pretty slippery through the water.
Mark, have you given up on the race record? We chatted about that a few weeks ago. Is that out of the question now?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's certainly not the forecast for the record, that's for sure. And it's it's one of those things though. You just never know what can happen. The Westies could be stronger and last longer than they're forecast to. So who knows? These boats, the race record, the average speed is 14.9 knots. These boats are capable of averaging 25 to 30 knots in the right conditions. So the record will get smashed one year, but I don't think this will be the year.